We have Steve Pemberton and Mark Gatiss from the Ladies Gentlemen with us here today. Thank you so much.
Hello, Jack. Good afternoon. How are you?
So the third series has started last Thursday. Huge expectation. Now, am I right in thinking it must be quite daunting now with the kind of expectations people have for that show? For you to leap in with the third series, that must have been quite, I would have thought, a challenge.
Well, we didn't leap in. We spent about 3 years.
I'm not saying you felt like you rushed.
No. Yeah, it was. I think it's always. I mean, the first one's difficult. The second one is. The third one is. I can't imagine it ever being easy, actually. I mean, we just wanted to do something which would keep surprising people, and hopefully we had a few moments which people weren't expecting.
Third series is, I mean, traditionally the most daunting, terrifying thing in anything, isn't it? So, yeah, there's a lot of expectation on us as well.
And had you, presumably, though, I would have thought now you have a bigger audience than ever before, because I know a lot of people, like, when it first came out, I didn't catch on to the series until the first series had been and gone. I think that's quite common. A lot of people discovered you quite late.
Yeah.
And now they've been showing you, I think there's a whole BBC digital channel devoted to you, isn't there?
Yeah. Gentleman Gold.
They actually wear the tapes out and show you.
But I think it's Play UK. Every time I tune in, there's another episode.
And don't you find it's always the same episode? Because I have this with Human Remains. I've seen the one in the guest house with the swingers. I've seen it about 18 times.
That's like Bagpuss and the bagpipes. That's the only episode that's ever on.
I think you're on your own with that one. Sorry. I was with you on Human Remains back then. That was too far. But I'm sure it will do well for you. I don't know. Do you have any figures on the first series?
2.4 mil.
2.5.
2.5. It's gone up. I'm sure it's those incremental points that. And that's for BBC too. It's very
for a warm September. That's not bad.
2 for a warm September. There's so many qualified.
I'm working all out.
And there are new characters in this series, which is exciting, of course. Very exciting. So which are the ones that you most enjoy playing?
There's a character I play called Professor Breastpinched in episode 5. It's a very long story as to how it came about from a stage hypnotist on the time, the place years ago. But it's become such a thing, and it's only in very briefly, but I had such a laugh doing it. I look at a clubfoot and a bald cap and dark glasses. It's not like we run out of ideas.
There is a feeling thing. When I first tuned into this, I did get the feeling they just let a bunch of people loose with a dressing up box.
Of course it is.
Exactly. I like the fact that when you go back, I noticed a few. I've only seen, I saw the first episode, but I've only watched it once. And but I've noticed in the other ones that when you go back, it replays repeated viewing by their little details and all aside.
Yeah.
I noticed that in the first episode, you briefly see the title of the prison, which was. Yeah, which I like that. The ladies' prison.
Yeah, absolutely.
We won't go on it, or else we'll all be going out of prison. But then, of course, there are also, some of the old favourites are back as well. Tubbs, I'm pleased to see, has survived.
Well, this is controversial because what you're meant to think is that when they're walking along, they get hit by the train and killed.
Well, that's survived from the last one. Are they going to be back later in the series? Or?
Well, we had it in mind that there was going to be such a spectacular torrent of blood and an obvious...
Yeah.
And lots of people think the train's just gone past.
I know. I knew she'd been here, but it had been here.
Well,
she might survive it.
It's a Michael Myers type thing, or what's the thing in Terminator 2 where it all goes...
comes out together.
The Mercury.
The Mercury Man.
The Mercury Woman.
Maybe she's made of Mercury.
I've grown very, very fond of Tubbs.
Yeah.
I hope some people, presumably, you aren't fully aware what we're talking about here, and they think we're just randomly...
Well,
we might not get there.
53.2.
Were you the kind of boy who collected statistics? It seems that way. The fastest man.
I used to have all the football stickers, and I used to have various teams and various, all that sort of stuff. But no, it becomes important in the week of transmission what your viewing figures are and what your reviews are like. But then at the end of the day, in a year's time, we'll have forgotten what it was.
There's been this sort of slight backlash with this third series. I saw one sniffy review.
There was the mail was stinking, but who can think of anything nicer than annoying the Daily Mail?
Exactly.
Was that the one?
No, I can't remember. I think someone mentioned it to me and said, someone said something, and it was a weird...
No, we've been really thrilled, though. For a third series, the reviews have been excellent.
And yet you fellas don't do a lot of press, do you? You're not really people who put yourself out there.
Jonathan, this is a moot point, because we will do anything.
I see the other sort of people who don't get asked to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
I think people are a bit scared of you, though.
Well, we get that a lot. We did this in studio today.
And they were scared of us.
Yeah, and let's face it, if anyone's going to be scared of anyone, we should be scared of them.
They were charming.
The two of you together could do a great Richard and Judith.
Which is, well, I'm not going to ask them.
I think we know. But do you think that's, people do often, weirdly, because it is such a dark and such a funny show.
Lorraine Kelly publicised the live show or the video, and she was going, "It's so normal. It's lovely, wasn't it?" And we do get that a lot.
I love Lorraine because I think she does have a fairly simple worldview.
Jeremy got me a birthday card on my birthday recently, and it's one of these with a bad cartoon on the front, and you open it up and there's someone doing an impression, and he goes, "Oh, you look great. Have you lost weight? Have you had a facelift? My 2-year-old son is obsessed with it. It's the first thing I hear in the morning and the last thing I hear at night. It's meant to be Lorraine Kelly.
That's brilliant. Ronnie Ancona did GMTV, and she says, if you just join us, you've missed nothing.
But I do love, she used to do a show that followed GMTV that was on Sky.
That's what we did.
That's what we did. We can't get on the proper one.
No, that's quite a tragic thing to admit. But I tuned up once and she had some swingers on who had been doing like wife shopping. And her comment was, honestly, I don't know where you find the time or the energy. I'm talking to two of the League of Gentlemen. Mark Gatiss and Steve Pemberton are here. The other two, Reese Shearsmith and Jeremy Dyson, I believe, are doing some hospital radio this morning.
That's right.
Lollipop, yeah. Reese has been on the show with you before. He came on, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Jeremy never comes out in daylight. Is that right?
He lives in a hutch.
You never get to see him. It's a strange.
You do see him in cameo. You've got to be a super fan though to know that.
And Reese is kind of the good-looking one in the group, isn't he?
Shut your face.
He's like the heartthrob of the group.
He appears to be, yeah. We never thought. We thought he was short and fat and ugly, but no.
He drags up nicely as well.
He does look a very nice woman.
I mean, you all drag up okay, but he drags up quite attractively. I keep thinking if I did have to spend some time in solitary confinement, well, obviously then I'd be alone. But in jail, fresh out of solitary confinement, he'd be the one I'd like to be.
I think he may well appear in the pages of Bizarre magazine again in a different guise.
It's strange that you guys are, not as I think as kind of like left upon by the press as you might be, because it is obviously it's a shit show. Everyone likes it. There are these strange characters in it. I think people are genuinely kind of like unnerved by you.
I suppose it's a bit of an unclassifiable thing, and I can get nervousness, especially about episode 1 of the new series.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we did the tour, we did 111 shows, and it lasted forever. And there was a much bigger and warmer response than we ever imagined, and I think more than perhaps the 2.5 million would let on.
I think it's a much bigger audience for show because people watch repeats and they video it and they watch it.
And we do feel it's less about these 6 weeks of it on and more about its shelf life. We get more of a response from the...
I already said that.
I must also commend you on the book you had out. Was it last year or the year before the book?
It was the year before.
That was fantastic. One of the few cash-in books I've seen that actually wasn't just a cash-in book.
I tell you, it was more than a day's work.
Yeah, it was really very funny and quite disturbing as well.
Disgusting.
It was actually unpleasant. I'm glad it didn't sell very well. And I'm pleased they've all been burned now, I believe. Do you still write the books, the Doctor Who books?
I haven't for a while. I'm actually writing a novel now called The Vesuvius Club.
Oh, that sounds good.
It takes about a 19th century secret agent.
I like that.
Oh, you'd like that, yeah.
Are you a fan of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Well, I haven't read it, actually. I'd like to. I can't get hold of a copy.
This is a comic book. We're going off into fanboy territory. A comic book written by the great Alan Moore, the greatest comic book writer ever to live. And it kind of brings together some of the great characters of Victorian fiction.
Lovely.
They're making a movie of it.
And we haven't even been asked to appear in it for seconds, which is a bit sad.
I would have thought they would have come to you guys.
Yeah, you would. But
because you had that kind of freakish look that suits you.
And there's the Connery connection.
Which is, he's in it, of course.
He's in it, and he's the producer of Art, which is going to be our next project, opening on the 14th of October.
Oh, you were good.
You could be a good
now. That takes easy piece of self-promotion.
Cleverly done.
Remarkable. So finally, Art have run out of celebrities.
There's a graph somewhere from Tom Courtney.
We're doing it in drag, though. Because the vagina monologues have closed.
The fact that you're following Jamie Theakston, that's quite something. Yeah. That's one of the things they teach you. Never follow Jamie.
Are you ever asked to do it?
No, never. I'm in the vagina monologues.
Yeah,
every night. That doesn't really mean anything, but it's almost a joke.
I get it.
Like so much of the stuff that I throw at. So what else are you guys doing? Now you've finished this series, you're going to Art, obviously. Well, let's talk about that before we do, because when are you starting it?
October the 14th.
Okay, and you ready to go? You rehearsed?
We start rehearsing on Monday. We've only got
2 weeks to that, can you believe?
And that's not an awful lot, is it? And the big role, the kind of standout comedy role, is it's Ivan or Ivan?
Yeah.
Ivan, who has the big long speech that brings the house down. Who's playing Ivan?
That's Reese. He started learning the speech about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
In anticipation.
He knew that he'd get one day. He'd be the last cast. But I think you guys then had the harder parts to play.
That's good.
Well, from a comic point of view, that is definitely, I think, the funniest role. But they're all good parts, and if it works well, it's because it's a good ensemble and it sort of pings between the three of them. So.
I would genuinely like to see it again with you guys.
Well,
often we've had people on who said they're going to be in, and I said, yeah, I'd like to see it, and I haven't meant it for seconds. But I'd be interested to see how the dynamics of you guys as performers who work together will now...
Well, it's about people who have been friends for about 15 years, and that's exactly what we have. And we had a read through the other day, and I felt kind of purged at the end. It was like having a row with the other two. We never do that. So it was good, yeah.
You are very, very, very middle class.
That's so untrue.
Well, you've become that way. That's, you know, all the qualities of it. Not the finicky qualities, not the kind of curtain-twitching kind of judgmental stuff, but I mean the kind of nice politeness, the stability.
Good manners cost nothing, John.
You are very well mannered. Now, I wonder if you could take Andy aside and teach him some. He's been playing records with the F word in.
One of them.
Was it bleeped?
No,
Did he put it on?
I put it on because I thought it was a radio edit.
I barely even apologised. I had to apologise.
Really?
What was it?
Well, let's not go. What's the name of the
let's not give it any further. No, it's a guy called Just Jack.
Yeah, well, he should know better.
Oh, dear.
It's upsetting, isn't it? I'm chilled to the very marrow. And so you're starting out on the 14th. How long are you in it for?
3 months.
So that, by my maths, 12 weeks.
That's correct.
How many days is that?
Statistic man.
That's a long time. Have you done, I mean, you've toured with the League of Gentlemen, but have you done stage theatre before?
Yeah, nothing like this. Not this sort of length.
It's quite a risk in a lot of ways because people will have seen, you know, what we're going to do in art before. And we haven't really played those kind of straight characters for... Especially, well, we'll see. Moving on.
But will there be posters of you in League of Gentlemen gear?
No, the posters are up. Posters are up. They sort of wanted to find a way that would capitalise on both things.
Cool.
And they were talking about all these subtle campaigns, and then there was a kind of local art for local. They've done a Gilbert and George one, which is very nice. That's something they've never tackled before, but with no turds around it.
Yeah.
And but the main one is us with one of those cows. You know those cows that are around London, painted white like the
cow parade going through London.
Yeah. What is the deal about that? Does anyone know?
It's to raise money for beef eaters, I think. I'm not sure.
When you see it, you're meant to just like throw some money on.
I think it's a child-line in this country, and it's like kill a cow.
But we've got a white cow. We're poised over it with a chainsaw.
If a child is told, put it in a cow.
like the Wampa in Empire Strikes Back.
We're back to that again. Did you catch the reference? Were you here earlier when Neil was singing his song?
Oh, yeah.
Neil Hannon sang a new song called The Happiest Goth, I believe.
Happy Goth, yeah.
And it said, the happiest goth, your skin's as white as the snows of Hoth.
Oh, that's amazing.
You'd something like that. You'd like that. You would have liked that very much indeed. I've now killed it stone dead. I'll try pointing out in a very obvious manner. Let's play another track, shall we? Andy, what do we have lined up?
I'm going to do a bit of Scott Walker.
The legendary Scott Walker. Scott Walker.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Why don't we start fanzine?
Yeah.
That's not Scott Walker fanzine. We could do it.
Us four and Neil Hannon.
But I insist we do it in the old way. No computers. No photocopying. We get one of those old print machines that you have to wind up with the purple print and the smells. That's great.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
They smell great, didn't they?
No one can stop us. We're adults. Are there times when you are struck by the fact that you're an adult?
Yeah, and then the same thing. I've just built a laboratory in my house. Of course you have, because I've always wanted one. I don't see why I should be stopped.
No reason why not. And who knows, you might cure something.
I've already invented time travel.
I could so see you as the next Doctor Who.
Oh, hey!
The campaign starts here. Let's start now. Mark and Gatiss for Doctor Who. That's the only way forward.
Can I be the sexy assistant?
No.
Oh, come on. Can I be the evil one then?
You could be the dog.
Okay.
You could be K10, where there isn't even a pun involved. How about that? Those were the days. They are bringing back Doctor Who, though, aren't they?
No, it's another lie, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we should make our own Doctor Who, not two adults.
On a Vanda.
Cameras are cheap.
Yeah.
We should do it. Let's do a Doctor Who with really poor special effects. Oh, no, that's what they did already.
So saucy.
We just let one out of time. Who do we have on the show next week?
Michael Palin.
Whoa.
Supergrass playing live.
Wow.
And Dolly Parton.
Wow, what's happened? This show suddenly become really good. Are they going to replace me or something?
Yeah.
You're obviously being phased out for this one. Let me just remind you that you can see Mark and Steve with the gentlemen performing doing art at the Whitehall Theatre in London. It starts on the 14th of October. It runs for 12 weeks, but I should imagine a lot of tickets have gone already. So if you get the chance...
2.5 million.
Get down there. 2.5 million people going here. Sign up and try and get a ticket, go and see them or not. Which I suspect, and also they're laying art to rest after this, aren't they?
Yes.
So if you haven't seen it already, it's one of the success stories of the theatre world. Try and get to see it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Continued success and good luck with the current series, which I know will be huge for you. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.